Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back for another STRAAT Talks. We've been away for quite some time, but we're starting again with another live interview right from Amsterdam, the STRAAT Museum. And I'm looking forward a lot to my next interviewer. No one less than, you can see her in the back, Hera from Herakut. I know she's ready to join us any moment, and yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very excited to have you all with me here. If you have any questions or whatever, let me know, and otherwise just enjoy the show with us. If you think I'm talkative right now, just wait for Hera to join us, because she can talk a lot in a very positive way. She can talk a lot about her art, about a lot of stuff, about her plans for the future. I know a little bit about it already. And right now we're waiting for her to join us. I see she's watching with us. Good evening. Also my father is watching with us. Thanks all for joining. Hi guys from Germany. We're here. Carlos is watching. Hi guys. This is what I've been doing during the COVID, during the pandemic times. Live interviews with artists that painted at the museum, to just bring you to their studios. And right now we're going live with no one. And I hope it works. It always takes a little bit of time. There you are. Hi there.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to STRAAT Talks, live in Amsterdam. We just prepared. You're all up to speed. I know you're there with a couple of paintings around you in Frankfurt.
Yep.
And it's not Banksy. It's Hera from Herakut. And I'm very excited to have you here. We didn't do this for quite some time. And just for everybody to understand once more, I'm right now in the museum. I'm wearing my snow boots because it's almost freezing in Amsterdam. And I'm sitting in front of the work of Hera. She painted here in August last year. And right now we're going to talk about you, about the painting in the back, about your plans, about women in street art, potentially a little bit, and we'll just see how it goes. And if anyone wants to just join us with some questions, just let us know. I will just do this one to just let everybody know it's about you. Are you ready for it?
Yeah. I just saw someone said it looks cleaned up, which is true. It does look cleaned up. And you're wearing your snow boots. I'm wearing my
There you go.
yeah, my slippers. And I'm so excited. I've never done this before. You introduced me as someone who talks a lot. Everyone who knows me in person knows that is the truth and nothing but the truth. That's true. Yes.
I know. Well, I have a little souvenir that you left for me at the museum, and we'll talk about it in a moment. But remember this one?
Yeah.
It's the right way, or is it mirror? No.
It's mirrored, but it says basically not to talk to the artist.
Don't talk to the artist. She has no self-control, and she won't stop talking.
Exactly. That's the thing.
That's basically what happened.
That's what always happens, and I think it's kind of funny because as a child I was so timid. I would never dare to talk to strangers.
Really?
Now look at me. Yeah, but actually, you know what? I thought where we should start this off with another deer, because you have my painting in the background and there's some deer in it, and I wanted to share something with you because I think that it's important to see where inspiration comes from.
Definitely.
And I want to share this here with you. Do you see this?
There, yeah, we see.
So
Tell
yeah,
us.
this was a toy deer that I got when I was really young, when I was really little. And my parents chose this one for me and my sister. She got my sister is 2.5 years younger, and she got a fox. And for
Right.
some reason, this really stuck with me. And I want to show you this other thing here up there. Do you see? Wait a minute. Do you see this?
I see another deer.
Another deer,
Or the
and
helmet.
it's super old, a helmet and a deer. But this
Right.
deer up there is so old. It has it's probably 100 years old, and it belonged to a very very interesting person who used to be a painter, and she never talked to anyone. She stayed quiet until she passed away, but she did tutor me
Okay.
for 5 years. And when she passed away, my mom, me, and her landlord, we were the only people at her funeral, and I got to choose what I wanted from her home. And I
Wow.
picked this old deer because it kind of went with mine. And it's just so crazy how sometimes, I mean, you never know what gets recycled in someone's mind, you know? So
Hmm.
that imagery, it just stayed with me. And apparently, um, it has something to do with my psyche, too, because I always felt so, I don't know, just so fragile. And I have to learn to blend in,
Right.
because yes, don't stick out. And now look at me now, I totally stick out.
You do definitely, yeah. No, and that's a really good thing. And thank you for sharing, like something that happened a long time ago, and it's still sticking because there are like actually we counted because you were in Amsterdam last week. We counted the deers again. There were 12 in this painting, and you use deers a lot, right?
Yeah, I use them a lot because I they're they're wildlife,
Hmm.
and they live so close to us humans. And just like other wildlife, some of you might know that I have some squirrels in my neighborhood, and they're wildlife as well. And I'm just always so in awe with these things that live be below the radar. They live in
Right.
city next to us, but we rarely pay attention, we rarely see them. And just like mice and rats, and why I use rats and mice,
Hmm.
and other foxes and raccoons and all these animals in my imagery a lot, is because they're kind of what I felt like when I started doing graffiti and later street art. When I started doing graffiti, it was still subculture. So it
Right.
was, on the side of what was going on. It was not mainstream yet. And then that's where I see the relation. And I don't know, it's just kind of, I see myself in those uh well, not the popular kind of animals. I don't if you see, sometimes you meet people and you're like, what's your favorite animal, what do you relate to? And then they'd be like, oh, I'm a
A
lion
dog.
person, or I'm a
Right.
tiger or something. I
I'm a
don't.
tiger.
Yeah, yeah, sure, yeah, right, yeah. No, but I totally say I'm a raccoon above anything else, or a deer. I mean, these
Mm.
days I'm more a raccoon because I eat like a raccoon. I eat a lot of trash. But when I was little, I was a deer. But sometimes I feel like a pigeon. I used to feel like a pigeon. I used to feel like people hate me without any
No,
reason.
I.
But that was one of the things
Mm.
that I stored. And that's why when I see animals, I do the same thing that I do when like with meeting people. I always try to find that one thing in them that I can relate to, that kind of
Right.
resembles me. So it's with people or animals. I always try to figure out where is our common ground.
Mm.
Where do our
That's
stories,
beautiful.
have similar, uh, would be on similar pages. God, I'm already talking so much.
I know, I know.
Sorry, I should
I
be
was
answering
waiting for this
questions.
sentence. I was waiting for this sentence to just interfere. It's all going well. For me, you're a beautiful deer, and not a raccoon or anything in that matter. But you already started a little bit like when you started with graffiti. Can you tell us a little bit more about like how it started for you? Where and when and how?
Yes, I even found something that is so,
You did your homework, eh? That's great.
yeah, yeah, I found some photos, some
That's
old photos.
awesome.
I don't even know the exact dates of those, but
Okay.
I have to share it with you. And this is really, really, this is, that's such a long time ago that I painted these. Wait, let me see. So,
Show us. Like in the meantime, if you're just watching. Ah, okay. Yeah.
do you see this?
I do. Like for me, all the comments are like in front
Oh,
of your, but I do see it.
so
Yeah.
I think I must have painted this. I don't remember exactly, but this was the style I used to paint in. It was like real graffiti style, you know, like
Yeah.
I mean, graffiti character style. I have another
Mm-hmm.
one. I painted that in um, Yonkers. It was in Yonkers. See, this was another one. This was this was a Hera character.
At least it's an animal already,
It's an animal.
right?
It's so
Yeah.
funny. So different. It's such a different style. But I wanted to show you that. And then what I did was I always tried to, um, hey, look, I painted a very early portrait.
Wow. What age were you back then? When did you start?
I think that's from, that must be that must be 2003. I think
Okay.
2003. But I started painting in 2001. And I just kept on painting, 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 and went through a lot of different styles. There was one that was, yeah, okay, here's one that you can see already a little more of the
Yeah.
mix. And this
Yeah.
was,
Especially with the figure. I'm not sure if for you it's on the left or the right.
yeah,
That yeah. Your middle finger is pointing at it, right?
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of different stages. So I think um, I went through this just a self-finding process with my work, and I rarely have any photos of this because I kind of think that I already knew this was just part of the process. Oh yeah, look at
Oh,
this.
really?
Amsterdam 2002.
That's awesome. Oh my God. That
So different.
I'm pretty sure it's gone.
Of course it's gone, but I mean that's
Yeah.
the fun of it. But
No,
it's
yeah,
just
of course.
it's so funny, and I came to realize that uh, why I love this culture is actually why, because it happens on the street, and it is okay to be gone because
Right?
that way there's always more room to start over new, and then to create a new style or develop a new style or some new ideas. So it's kind of I don't know. I always say I do more storytelling than painting.
Mm-hmm.
And the beauty of storytelling and books is that there's an endless amount, and you can always add chapters and add and add and add. So that's why what's so important to me. And so also some of the things I do, they evolve in a very unexpected way. I want to show you one thing. Oh yeah, did
So,
you?
yeah, tell me.
Can we talk about this one?
We will talk about it later.
Ah, okay.
Or is it like part of your beginning process?
The beginning process, the part of do you mean the actual um how I met Akut and all these things, or
Yeah, well, I mean, nobody's going to calculate because you said like you started in 2001 or 2003, something like this. But like, what age were you back then? Because we interview
that's true.
all of the we interview all of the artists that are adding works to our collection, and most of them start when they are like 13, 14, 15.
Yeah, no,
Somewhere.
did start out a little later than that. Well, I did use the spray can a little later than that. I think I was 19 when I first used a spray can, and before that, it
Really?
was, yeah, before that it was markers. And when I was 13, I had this rebellious phase where 12, 13, where I knew that graffiti is super cool, and my old diaries, I had pages and pages full of alphabets. So I did like a
Right.
white alphabet, a bubble alphabet, all these different alphabets. But it wasn't until way later, until I was in Wiesbaden, when I first got introduced to actual spray paint.
Wow.
And
Okay.
before that, it was always just um, loving the culture, following the culture, but I didn't know anyone who was doing these kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it did take a while, but I'm also thankful for that, because that means I already had messages when I started doing stuff. One of the first pieces, and I really need to look for a photo of that. I don't have it now, but one of the first pieces I did by myself was one where I painted in Wiesbaden on the Schlachthof, where I was 20, I think 20. Yeah, 20. I must have been 20 when I did my first own piece. Um, and I painted a girl holding a spray can, and then some people walked by, two guys, and they said, "Look at a girl holding a spray can." And then
Wow. Really?
I added that exact writing next to it, my piece, and I said, "Oh, look at the." Actually, I said, "Look at the poor girl. She doesn't even know how to hold the spray can right," because I think it was kind of this misogynist comment that they left.
Right.
Um, so that was when I decided, you know what, this is, I'm gonna stick out. So I can't just I need to use this as a tool to communicate with people. And
The writing,
yeah, the
like the
writing, not just the character, but the writing, because that adds another level. Because
right.
you can have, with my characters, I usually did the cute thing, the characters, the big eyes and stuff. That's something that that builds bridges, that connects.
Mm-hmm.
But with my
Mm-hmm.
writing, I could add a very different layer. I can add sarcasm. I can I can turn the whole thing into a political statement or something. So
Right.
it's a very powerful tool. I always said I'd love to even add a soundtrack. You know, I'd love to
Yeah,
add
I
an
would see that.
animation.
I would see that in your work. Yeah, yeah, that could really fit. Hey, and this message of these two guys, that was like the beginning, the motivation of writing and adding these texts next to your work,
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
right?
Because the
And
pieces that I showed you earlier, you know, these kind of things,
mm-hmm,
those were all just getting to know the spray can, getting
right,
to know, you know, colors and caps and these different things. But the first time I was out doing my own piece, I was super angry. I mean, I was a very angry 20 in my 20s. I was very, very mad, not mad, angry at the world. Um, and
right.
yeah,
Okay.
well, and I hated different systems. I hated school systems. I mean, I was
Mm,
already in my 20s, but I felt like this is all bullshit, and I've just been molded to do something. And I started to study graphic design, and that was just awful. And it just went into the whole. It went into commercialization of art and totally sucking the artists and the creatives dry. And I didn't want to feed into that. I just thought, no, never mind. You know, I'm gonna paint, and that's exactly why I loved urban art. I paint where no one pays me. Well, it used
right.
to be like this. I paint
Yeah.
where no one pays me, and I might actually be fined. You know,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
didn't want to. You know, in the early 2000s, before everything went to shits with the economy in 2008. Before that, um,
Mm-hmm.
when I started graphic design, everything was still about the whole. It still had this Wolf of Wall Street mentality, even in the creative,
Okay.
yeah, even in
Okay.
that scene, and I didn't want to be part of that.
Right. Okay, that's so interesting. So we're not going to answer the question how old you are right now, But you
Well, no, I've been. I mean,
you made
I'm.
quite a career in 5 years. Let's say it like this. You started when you were 20. I did see your
Yeah.
question, Carlos. So I will ask Hera later because well, or I can ask you right now. There are a lot of books in the back,
Yes.
and Carlos Mayer was referring to your library and how important it is to collect these books.
So important. It's
Right,
so important. I'm sitting in front of this instead of in front of my own artwork because I wanted to show you that it's so important. And I've moved apartments quite some in my life, but I've always made sure to have my books with me. And there's some books. Oh, geez, God, I wished I could. I wished you could see these, but there's some books that are so old that they're falling
I
apart.
see. I
And
think we can see. Yeah,
yeah, yes,
that's
I'm
wonderful.
ripping it apart. And there are other books that are so important, and now, of course, I can't find it. No, but there are other books that I took on trips when I first started traveling for art. I was still very, I don't know, unsure about this whole thing and a little worried where this was going. And having those books with me, that really grounded me and that really put my, I knew where to find my happy place by just having those
Right.
books with me. And and here's one more thing. Do you see these, Celtic fairy tales, African fairy tales, mythology? So
The
there's
white books, right? Yeah, the
exactly
comics.
there. And then I
Yeah.
have folk tales from East Europe. I collect different books about mythology because that's just such a massive source of inspiration, and I can highly recommend audiobooks on that topic as well because you never run out of ideas when you go back in time. There's
Right.
It's just yeah. Sorry, I'm
No, perfect.
getting
No, it's
sidetracked
amazing.
again.
No. And Carlos and also Didier, they're asking like, what's your favorite book? Do you have one?
uh my favorite book, that's tricky. But there's one book that's particularly I mean that's it's a book of poetry. And I've mentioned him before. People who know me have heard his name because I've quoted him quite a lot. His name
Mm-hmm.
is Jeffrey McDaniel, and he there's it's a small book of poetry. It's called Alibi School, and
Okay.
that was fire. I mean, really, for me, that was just everything in there was like song lyrics, and without having a tune to it, I totally felt that. And it's kind of this it's one of the books that massively impacted how Herakut artwork looked in the early in the beginnings.
Wow.
2004, when I met Akut, I could I had so many quotes in my head of Jeffrey McDaniel, and so when we were out and not knowing what to paint, basically I could quote him. And there's one line I just wanted. I mean, you're right now in a very
Mm-hmm.
cold spot,
It's
and
fine. It's
I
fine.
said,
I'm loving the talk, and I think everybody is loving the talk with us. If you have any questions for the people, there's a question mark below. Please add the question there because there are too many messages, so I can't really read all the messages if they're just popping up in the screen. Thanks all for joining us. Do you have the book over there,
yeah,
Hera?
that's what I'm trying to see right now, because maybe I have it in a like in a special place, and this could be not in this room, like it could be in another room.
And that one is not cleaned.
Yeah, that's not clean. No, but also another really good another good thing is photo books. I wanted to recommend you when you paint, when you're a figurative painter, and sometimes I don't know if it's just me. Oh, I found it. But if it's just me, but there's something about looking at photo books, and my parents, they influenced that a lot because they got me a lot of photo books from like black and white photos from flea markets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, And because they were so cheap, I could just rip out pages and then, I don't know, just work them into collages and stuff, and just work with the photos. And as you know, my style consists of drawing and photos. And
Yes.
that's another thing that I wanted to share with you. If you invest in real like high quality books or anything high quality, it can be very pressuring to keep them nice and clean, and you're less tempted to actually work with those things.
Right.
And someone wrote, "Where's Frida?" Frida's not here,
Yeah.
but her toy is here. Sorry. Frida's at my mom's. She barks a lot, so I thought it's not a good idea to have her around.
That's so smart. Well thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but so if you buy something that's either like super cheap, or if you have two of them, then you
Mm.
can really just work with them. And that's actually another thing why I didn't use canvases in the beginning. And I painted on walls, but when I painted inside, I used super big pizza boxes, like really big pizza boxes, and
Wow. Okay.
I glued them with wallpaper, wheat paste, and newspapers, and then I just I just painted on those, and they were so cheap. So, and I could paint on two sides. But
That's wonderful.
here's this book I was talking
Ah,
about.
that's the other one.
That's the alibi school.
Oh, that is the one.
That
Okay.
is the one,
Beautiful.
and you can see I make
Yeah.
notes.
You
It
read it a
looks
lot.
Yes, I read it a lot. So yeah, it falls apart. But
Is there like, do you have like a favorite quote in there?
yeah, there are a lot of really great things, but okay, here's the thing. My neighbor with no arms wanted to know how it feels to let something go.
Okay. That's wow.
One wrote Sparfuchs, which is so funny. A Sparfuchs means
Oh, oh my God.
yeah, cheap fox. That's the German thing.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, now you can tell. I mean, by the weirdness of this quote, where my brain's at.
I
Um,
was like, are you serious or
yeah,
what's going
I love it.
on? You are serious, of
I
course.
am.
And I think you already sort of answered like one of the questions of one of your friends from Nomad Clan, because they sent me they are in STRAAT the 9th of April. So please
Nice.
also join us then.
Yes.
But does the concept start with the message, um, the image or the written messages?
Usually when it's outdoors, it starts with just looking at the wall, and trying to figure out, usually they have weird shapes or something, and you spend a lot, or I spend a lot of time just looking at the wall, and then usually there's already a context of why I am in a place. So it's a little different than painting canvases. So because, for example, when I was in Margate last year, since you mentioned Nomad Clan, I guess that's why
Yeah.
Margate came to mind. When I painted in Margate, I was invited, and just to raise awareness to ocean. What's it called? Well, all the trash that's in the ocean, and I worked with the seal rescue or wildlife rescue, and so there was already some context. So when I went to the wall and I looked at it, I already had some sort of music in my head. But when I just start a canvas out of, just, without having a deadline or anything, I too just sit in front of it, and then certain things appear. I mean, there's one thing that sits right here. I can show you this. Wait a minute. So look at this. Do you see this? No, wait.
I see some eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
So
I do.
So this is how I started today, with a fresh canvas, and I looked at her, and I sort of just painted, and then I thought, okay, where do I go from here? And
Right.
stupid me, I already turned it, you know, in my head, I went from the word, where do I go from here, to where do I go from Hera? And then I thought, all right, okay, I'm going to take a photo, and this is going to be my head. And then I'm going to add a lot of little figures that are thinking about, where the fuck are we gonna go next? You know? So they're escaping my head, and then they're like, okay, is this world safe so we can take flight? And then they just take off. So it's kind of, I don't know, I think I just, I let it go, I let it flow, and I follow them on their way. Here's another example where it's a little
That's amazing that you're taking us within like your thoughts. That's really nice to hear.
I want to show you something. This one right here, that's
It's beautiful.
supposed to be a raccoon, and she does something here, but I don't know what she's holding. So maybe she's holding a necklace or something. Maybe, I'm not sure what she's holding. So I will give her another week,
Right.
and then she will tell me. I
Right.
think.
Maybe people at home can just add like what they think she's holding.
And
Well,
here's
wait.
another one. Wait, I have to show you this. This is way more elaborate because there are a lot of different characters in it.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I could
And
see. Yeah.
you can
Beautiful.
see, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And you know what's so funny? So this is well, more like a male looking character.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, like
I also about the previous campus. I think she's also holding her heart. Like there's also
could be,
someone
yeah.
replying. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's holding her heart.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it could be. I mean, that's really cool. I should, and that's actually the thing I love about painting outside, because whenever someone walks by and I get into communicating with them, which usually
Mm-hmm.
happens because I never have I don't listen to music when I paint outside because yeah, I want to engage with people. And so when people walk by, it's a lot of times their input really makes it onto my artwork.
Right.
It's always a very open process. And I really, if there's one thing, one saying these days that I love is seriously, I mentioned before, trust the process. Like, it will be
Mm.
great if you really just dedicate yourself and not already think about the next wall or the next canvas or something. So it's when I
Right.
sit in front of something, I totally give it my all. And that's why
For sure.
I do miss meetings. I am really bad with writing invoices. I'm very bad with organizing my life, but I'm
So if
always
there's
fully
someone,
committed to painting when I do.
right? So if there's someone there that wants to manage Hera, you can call us after.
Just real quick, here
Yeah.
there's a little kid that influenced this piece.
Mm.
So you can see a more male looking character,
Yes.
and then there's this deer. So it's a stag. Is it called a stag, like the male deer? I think it's called a stag. So a stag and
Yeah.
a baby deer fawn. And I had a collector. She had already purchased some paintings, and she has two little girls and
Mm-hmm.
one boy at home. And when it was when she wanted to buy another painting, she asked her children what they want, and then her son said, "You know, Mom, we have all this artwork at home, and it always depicts female-looking images."
Right.
And I don't see myself in any of them. And then I was like, oh my God, that's so true. I rarely, I mean, usually I paint very androgynous looking, or more like more, you know, characters that could be females. But so I
Mm-hmm.
decided, hey, you know, this boy had a point. So
Yeah.
that's why I painted a stag. He doesn't know I painted it for him, but that's how everything influences my next
Right.
project.
So it's continue. It's like a trusted process, and like you're continue improving and listening to what's happening around you.
Absolutely.
So
Oh,
about like, I just want to come back to that listening, what's happening around you, what people are saying to you. There were also a couple of comments because you started writing these stories and adding these stories to your paintings based on what these two guys told you in the streets
yes.
about like this poor little girl or whatever trying to hold a spray can.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is this something that you like experienced a lot from like pure because of your gender?
Well, in the beginning, I have to admit, I didn't realize when I was painting, I didn't realize that I was looked upon in a different way than my male colleagues.
Hmm.
So when it was hot in summer and there was a jam and they painted without their shirts on, and I'd be, painting just in summer clothing, um, I did get a different kind of attention, which had
Right.
little to do with the actual work I was putting out and a lot to do with me being a girl, being young, and then, everything that came from that. It had more to do with flirting and being approached because of my gender, but not because of what I was doing. So
Right.
I noticed, of course, that. I mean, now I'm in my 40s, so it doesn't matter so much anymore. But I really felt that, yeah, it was kind of annoying because it just got in the way. You didn't want to
Yeah.
be there because somebody who organized the jam wanted to be your boyfriend or something like this. So it was annoying. It was just a little annoying. But on the other hand, God, I yeah, no, I got a lot of weird comments. I showed you the work I did in Yonkers. That's in New York earlier, and it was so
Yeah.
funny. It was in a community center, and while I was painting there, there were a lot of artists painting there, and then one of the guys came up to me and he said, "Wait a minute, whose wife are you?" It's like,
Wow.
why are you here? So,
A wife of,
yeah,
wow,
yeah. So whose
that's
wife
painful.
are you? Like, what painter are you with? Because there wouldn't be anyone doing this if it wasn't because your husband dragged you into it.
That's a
So
shame.
this was a weird thing, but also I always took it as inspiration. I have to say,
That's
I took it as inspiration, but that's one of the things I think, because I did start graffiti out of a rebellious, and I told you about I think I mentioned it before, because I was so unhappy with the status quo,
hmm.
with being a woman, and also being, I mean, I'm half Pakistani, half German, and I always felt I was less than. When my teachers looked at me at school, they kind of expected me to not know German as well, and just, or
Right.
expected I talked a little more slow to my father so he would understand and all. But I,
Hmm.
I was always met with a lot of preconceived ideas of how I should be already, or how, like how I could only be this and that. And
Hmm.
so I was always taking in all those all that criticism, or the critical looks, to yeah, to be stronger and as inspiration.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
And did you like, and is it because that's a tough way to start and to get all these comments and being the wife of someone else or whatever while you're there just kicking ass because you've been doing that for a long time? Is that like, is that vibe, is that atmosphere different at the moment?
um I think it's very the two of us, we already talked about this when I was in Amsterdam for showing the beautiful documentary Street Heroines.
Yeah.
And with with this, I'm just so happy that the whole urban art scene is so much more diverse. So we have not enough diversity, but it's already way more diverse than when I started out 20 years ago, which is great, and I totally applaud that. So I think we're on a good way, and I just encourage artists to recommend other artists they want to see. You know, if you're invited to a festival or if you're invited to a gallery show, and then you look at the lineup, and then just, you know, don't just complain to your peers, but actually go and say, hey, you know what, I have this really cool artist I know, you know, how about you, you know, just check her out, check him out, check them out. So
Right.
it's really on us individuals to recommend others that we think deserve visibility, instead of just, you know, just complaining again.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Just promotion of yourself and of others that deserve the stage that they deserve, right?
Absolutely. It's absolutely, and that's what I feel with all those beautiful, amazing artists that I've met. I'm so excited that last year was super productive in ways of networking for me. I've met just so many creatives that I'm really proud to call. I kind of want to call them my sisters. And I think we are building a really great community, and maybe we should, you know, if anyone knows walls, I'm happy to curate another festival with the crowd I met last year and make it a little more diverse in the lineup.
Right. Yeah. I know you have some plans there, so let's not go into detail right now. Anyway, there was another question. There are a lot of questions, and I also still have a lot of questions. I'm pretty sure we're going over an hour, which is great because there are still like 100 people every second watching. So, how are you doing? Are you going well?
I'm great, but I think I need to have like shorter answers, right? So yeah,
Oh, it's
you can
fine.
talk
Like
me. You can
if
tell me.
if people are complaining at home, I will let you know. For me, it's
Okay.
all going very, very well. I had one more question. I wrote it here
Yeah.
from Nomadland, and I think maybe we already know one of the two, but what's the most profound thing you experienced painting in the streets? Both good and both bad, but maybe the bad one we already know, but it's up to you to answer that question, of course.
God, there's so many.
What's popping up right away, like a good thing?
Well, a really good thing, a really beautiful thing was when I was in Nepal. That was 2013.
Mm-hmm.
2013. So 10 years ago, in pretty much the same time of the year, I painted in Nepal, in Kathmandu, and I painted on the streets. It was funny because they didn't have a lot of graffiti there back then, but they did have a lot of writing in the streets. So
Right.
the writing was mostly political propaganda, but they didn't
Mm.
paint characters. Like they didn't have artistic messages, but they had political
Okay.
messages. And so people were used to seeing people write something but not paint some figures. So when at some point I was painting there, and I don't remember they had laws against graffiti because it just didn't really exist. So
Right.
I painted a little girl with a backpack, like a school bag, and people stopped. A lot of people always stopped, and they asked, are you a politician? Like, are you a politician? And then this one really beautiful moment was when there was one lady and she had a little girl on her hand, and the lady said, "Why are you doing this?" And I said, "Oh, just for fun." And the little girl asked if she could take a photo of me. So,
Wow.
so that means that was a very great moment because it already shows from just one generation
Yeah.
perception is completely different. You know, one is like, what, why are you doing this? And the young one is like in awe, you know, thinking, oh wow,
Hmm.
this is unusual, I'd like to
Yeah.
take a photo. And these are things that I have noticed a bunch of times, and that's why also in Berlin, some of you know the piece in Kreuzberg. It's a yellow wall. There's a kid, and it's building
Yeah.
a little tower, and it
Hmm.
says, my home is no palace, but we can share it if you like. And that was something Akut and I painted 2018, and that was the same thing basically. When I went down the scaffolding, I hate scaffolding, but when I went down the scaffolding, um, there were a couple of moms with their kids smoking on the playground, and they said, why don't you get a real job? Like, they actually said that to me. They were like, why do you do this? This is a guy's job. Look at you. You look so
Really?
dirty. Yeah, 2018. You have to think that in Berlin. They were like, you look so dirty. Like, you know, why don't you get a real job? Do a cash register thing. Then you don't have clean hands. And
Hmm.
and yeah, I said, you know, that's
Little do they know, huh?
yeah. And there were kids with them, and the
Yeah.
eyes of those kids, they told me a totally different story. They loved
Of
what I was
course.
doing. So
Yeah.
as long as I have all these kids witnessing this situation and then learning something about, I mean, I've said the word diversity so many times, but that's just so important to me. If they see, you know, there's not just one idea of how an adult should be. And I'm
Right.
an adult, as I said, in my 40s. Uh, and it's totally okay to have dirty hands and dirty
Hmm.
shoes. Totally fine.
Right. Someone just replied, someone said that to me once as well, and I responded by painting on myself.
I love that. This is, yeah,
That's
this
that's that's a good way. I got another question, and thanks everyone, because like you were talking and everybody just interfered and said like, we love the stories, just continue. So we'll do that. And yeah, two artists, no one like not known but recommended, and you just shared like there are a lot of people like that I call my sisters right now that I would really recommend for like different festival. What happened? Are you
I'm
going to
so
show?
glad you asked.
Yeah. So like because like people are watching right now and people can watch it later. So hopefully a lot of people will see this, and if you have any recommendations, maybe it
Okay,
will come to something.
I mean, um, everyone who's on here basically. So
Is your sister?
these are my sisters that I
Right.
had the pleasure to hang out with in New York last year. Um, a lot of them are also. I mean, I will see them a bunch of times, but Lexi, I have to shout out to Lexi Bella, and Didi. I love you,
Right.
Didi. Then I have. Do you see this? This little thing right here?
Yes.
Julieta, I love you,
Julieta, she's amazing.
Julieta, and
Yeah.
Imisa. I mean, all my German girls.
Inisa is here as well. Eh? She painted during an event that we had last year. She's
Yes,
wonderful.
she's
Uh,
she's great.
she's
But
amazing.
there's so many. I mean, who you should also um, Various and gold in your. You have to
Uh,
have Various and gold in the STRAAT museum, please
yes.
look into that.
Okay.
But who you really need to get is, damn, I wanted, that's in a different room again. So Sata, it means star.
Okay.
She's from mainland China. She is so amazing. And look at this. Wait. Uh, Look at this
Got it.
beautiful piece of art.
Wow. Yeah.
Can you see?
Yes, I can see. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I saw.
So good.
I saw this work in Lyon, or one of the works.
You should get her. to Amsterdam, please let me know. Then I will come by. I love her so much. There's so many really great artists. Damn, I have so much stuff but you know what?
Just do your thing. You can just put your phone somewhere, and I will try to answer some questions. I'm not sure if you can still hear hear us back then. I saw one question. Did you paint in Pakistan?
No, I'm not sure if that's even a thing.
Right.
I'm not sure if you can paint in Pakistan, because I mean Pakistan is one of those Muslim countries. Well, the Pakistan I remember was one of the countries where there was very little freedom in terms of expression. So my just one quick story. I was 13 the last time I was there. I didn't go back there.
13. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that was the last time I was there. And one of my aunties, I gave her a gift. I gave her a painting I made, and it was a flower bouquet and some butterflies and beetles, just some little insects. And she looked at it and she said, "Oh, okay." And then she put it away, and I thought she was going to put it up on the wall, stupid me. But basically what I was told was I was imitating Allah's creation by painting living figures, like the butterfly was enough. It was not like I didn't paint a nude, like Rubenesque girl, like this stuff I do these days. It was enough for her to be like, I think this is not
really okay.
We don't want that. And so
Yeah.
that was one of those few interactions where I thought, I don't wanna mess things up, make it too messy for my parents.
No. Okay.
Oh
That
wait,
makes sense.
wait a minute. Before I continue showing you more work, there's one Instagram account, by the way, Galeta Maria, or Maria Galeta. I wanted to show you one of my prints I have of hers. So great, so great. Really great political work. I love it. There's so many more. I want to make more posts about all the amazing artists I love. But you asked me about one of the bad things that happened. It was actually one of the things that happened on Instagram where I posted something. It was a wall. I posted another Berlin piece, and I painted that to 2011 or something. It's gone now. It was
Is it the little one at the park?
No. It was a monkey.
I really love that piece.
With like a soldier helmet, and
wasn't that like at the like near a park?
Yeah, it could be, but I don't really remember it that well because I didn't live in Berlin back then, and I didn't really know my way around. But anyway,
I really love that piece.
Yeah,
sorry.
It was a commentary on actually military, and so it was a soldier's head, a soldier's hat on a helmet. Sorry, on monkey, and I wrote "Monkey see, monkey do," and and then I posted it sometime later, and somebody who claimed to be from Pakistan wrote in the comments, "I want to rape the monkey just like I raped you," or something like this.
What?
This was so crazy. This is just crazy, and I mean, no,
that's terrible.
I did have some replies in my head. I don't want to repeat them now, but you know, pretty angry at this person. But yeah, just it's so
that's nasty.
It's so easy to intimidate people on this kind of level, and yeah, it's just, I mean, yeah, there are a lot of these kind of things, but yeah,
block them and just be you and move on. It was the Trapdoor Park.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably Lady Aiko, you know, when she was there, she mentioned horrible things that have happened. There are a lot of
Here in Amsterdam last week for the
exactly.
people that, yeah.
So I think if we all got together, we could pull out a lot of horrible stories. But one thing that I believe is if you, whatever you put out, it exists by you putting it out in the world. So if I repeat those kind of things, they just exist for longer. So I don't
Yeah.
want to do that kind of.
No, don't put it away. Share it with everybody so people will know how strong you are and how bad other people can be, right? And is it important for you to support more female artists? Well, I think you're sharing that with us already, that it's very important.
Yeah, it's important for me, maybe because I know there's still so much inequality, and in coming from, you know, half of my family being from Pakistan, where there is a very big difference to how we live in Europe or the US and or let's say the Western world. So it's still long ways, but we shouldn't forget, and this is why I mean, I'm sitting in front of my books again, and I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and a lot of them are historic. Actually, a lot of historic crime stuff too. But I love, right now I'm listening to books about Germany before World War One or Europe before World War One, because we keep forgetting those times when not everyone had a car, and there, that, you know, that was the time when women meant nothing, and women couldn't vote in Europe either. So that's not so long ago. Like, that's just 100 years ago. And you know, us now, and I think people who consider themselves liberal, like me, we already think so much about how we want a society to be in the future, but you know, we need the rest of the world to follow up. You know, there's a lot of stuff that needs to happen in countries like, for example, you know, where I come from, or my father comes from, in Pakistan. They need to have some more time to follow up and reach this state, and where, yeah, India, all these countries. Anyway, so sorry, I'm getting caught up.
It's all good. We still have the same amount of people watching us, so I think we're doing quite well.
Crazy.
It was just a very different side question, but
yes,
have you ever been caught by the police?
Yes, I have. I have talked about this before. Geez, I want to show you so many things. I'd love to invite all of you to my home. I'm sorry.
Just
I'll get back.
Share the address below and we'll come your way.
Yes, exactly. Well, I have been caught, and I think I've been. It was a time when I was close to understanding where I was close to understanding the everything that's cool about illegal graffiti, you know, how it's fun. But being caught or getting caught, that really kind of curbed my enthusiasm there. So it's just, I didn't end up having a big career in the illegal field, because it was too much. Yeah, it was, again, you know, too close to being in a system, because I remember sitting there with the police officers talking down on me, and I felt horrible, and I just felt yeah, this was exactly what I wanted to escape from. So painting outside, I had to find a room where I can paint freely without being judged, without having professors, teachers, anyone grade what I do, because there was none of that. So I didn't want to I wanted complete freedom, and being out there doing illegal stuff, that really put that at risk. And then it would have been too close to encountering a police system, or, you know, that kind of system. So I just thought, no, I need to find a different way. And I mean, I've painted in some abandoned buildings, and that was kind of cool, but also that I just also wasn't fast enough.
Ah, really?
Yeah, I'm not good at running. Running isn't one of my
Well,
forte.
for sure, if there are people around, because you will just keep on talking, which, well, also in
Oh
Straat
no
was
no
like
wait a
amazing.
minute. It's already 1 hour. Oh no, I need to go. I need some some. I didn't even see the
Wait,
timer. Where?
are you leaving us?
No, I mean I don't know. I think oh Lexi, hi Lexi. Oh God,
Yeah,
this
I
is so
was in touch with her earlier today. She's just joining us, so you can't leave us now, Hera.
no. Oh, someone said a famous Pakistani graffiti artist. This is really cool. I want
Well,
to look.
this is actually Judd. He made the project with Shutter with the bullet holes in the museum.
Yes,
Have you
yes.
seen that?
I think I.
It's ju it's just there in the back, but and then
Yes,
it's the
yeah,
other side.
yeah,
So, yeah.
yeah. But
Well,
it's yeah.
do we still have time? Like people
Okay.
at home are worried right now. Are you leaving us?
No, wait a minute. There's someone said, how long did you start painting until you made money? Right? That was one of the questions.
Enough money for living with
Oh
your.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's the question. You know how do you? I was always very resourceful, so living
Mm-hmm.
didn't live large, I'd say. Now
Right.
I do feel like I live large because check this out. I'm sitting on my little couch with my indie blanket. So
Mm-hmm.
awesome. And then I paint all the way in the back. So
Yeah.
I this is so great for me. Like this is so luxurious the way I live now, but I never expected that. And so um I think it's probably 10 years until you're like, oh, this doesn't go away. So I
Right.
if you start a career or being doing anything new, I think after 10 years you can tell if it's really for you or not. And always keep in mind, I never wanted to be an artist. I did not want to be an artist.
Mm-hmm.
I in the beginning,
Great motivation.
I wanted to be a teacher.
Really.
Yeah, I wanted to be a teacher. I thought this is the best job to be influencing young minds and potentially messing messing them up. So no, but really, I think that's that was my goal to um, interact with uh, just I don't know, openness, young brains,
Yeah.
other creatives, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
because I always consider children as creative. So
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to be in that thing and not art. I always thought, oh, this is so elitist. It's just already so dull. And the only thing that really got me to do art full time was urban art, because urban art and in the early days graffiti and then street art, that was all about communication and being open and not being in your little studio packed away, just being with yourself and your thoughts and just going in circles. So yeah.
Well, you actually found your way of teaching other people. I see like lots of comments like you're inspiring and you're teaching young kids, and we saw the same here in the museum actually. Like you were inspiring so many people with just being present and sharing your stories. Like you even asked us to add like a couple of words. You
Oh
know, that's
yeah,
also.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, I want to show you something. That's so cute. So do you see what's behind me right
We
here?
do. Yeah, I see a little boy, I guess.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's actually three characters. There's a cat. So this is a collaboration mural. Herakut and City and I painted in Sao
Mm.
Paulo, Brazil,
Uh,
2015. And look how small I am. Can you see this?
I know. Well, I know that. Oh my God! Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I know. I know the painting because my brother, his wife, is from São Paulo. So every time they're on the way to the airport, he sends me a picture.
Yeah,
Um,
that's so
and
cute.
most of the time I share it with you as well. But I know that painting is beautiful.
Yeah, and just paint. I mean, just by doing these kind of things. There was a school really close by. I think that
Mm-hmm.
just by doing something like this, it already, without me actually talking to the kids, and I don't speak Portuguese, so I wouldn't have, made any sense for me to talk to the kids. But just by doing
Right.
this, it already teaches them a lot, because it just shows, hey, yeah, a small little person,
Can
and
do
whatever
something
gender,
that big.
can
Yeah.
really can do something so big and be part of something so big. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so this is what makes it so fun to be outside and outdoors. And the thing with Sao Paulo, oh, I really want to go back. Time flies. It's just so
So
crazy.
when this was 10 years ago?
Now this was in 2015, so
15. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not good
Yeah.
with math.
So
It's
what's
like 8 years.
so there's so much to talk, and I think like we can talk a little bit more for the people at home. I'm in a
Oh,
museum.
oh, wait.
It's
There's one
freezing.
question. Yeah, I know you need to go, but look, there's one
No, we
question.
don't need to go. It's amazing.
When's the next one in Berlin? I can
You have
answer that.
plans.
Yes,
That's
I'm so
great.
excited for this. I'm so excited for this because I just talked about what's going to be on it yesterday. So that's in 3 weeks I'll be starting. So the last week of March, I'll be in
Mm-hmm.
Berlin. It's on the Spreeufer. It's across the street from Mauerpark, and you can see it from Mauerpark, and it's in cooperation with Green Forest Fund, which is reforestation charity, which I highly support. I'll be planting some trees in 2 weeks. So before I paint, I'll plant some trees. That's one of the things now. My work that I do outdoors turned really into artivism, where the things I do, I kind of for the past for many years I've been always teaming up with charities, different
Yeah,
NGOs,
of course, for sure.
doing these kind of things.
Yeah. Yeah, there are lots of questions. Spreeufer, like near the entrance of the Mauer Park, right?
Yes, it will be on the other side of the Mauerpark. So from Mauerpark, on the other side of the river, you can basically watch me paint. But when I start, I'll probably post it and do stories, because will also be a wall where it's not set in stone. It's never really set in stone what I'm gonna paint, and the past couple of years I've been having so much fun with people coming by, and especially when it was kids, I just asked them to add something. And just like with the piece in right behind you in the STRAAT
Yeah, you can do.
museum,
Yeah.
it was 4 adults, 1 kid that painted on there, or no, 2 kids, right?
There was one kid, you can't really see it, but there's like saying like fantasy,
Yes, yeah.
which fantasy, which is the same word in Dutch and German.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a fantasy. It's where everything started. It's yeah, our heads. Geez, now I feel. Could you share your news about the bunny, please? Oh yes. Oh, someone said, could you share your news about the bunny, please?
Yeah,
I know.
she already asked a couple of times, and she also wants to be your PA. I saw the questions, and there's so many questions.
Oh no. Okay, here's one of the bunnies, but it's in a color that I might not be
Mm-hmm.
doing. Here is one bunny that's gray.
Mm-hmm.
It's the 3D print, and here's one that's painted. But none of these,
Wow.
yeah, but none of these I'm allowed to sell at this point, because this is collaboration between me and the wonderful sculptor artist Anton Tishenko, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm meeting him in 3 days. No, oh wait, no, I meet him tomorrow. Oh geez,
Okay.
why I really need someone to do my schedule. Send
It's
me tomorrow.
it's so good that what's her
Good.
name?
Yeah, so
Asked
I'm meeting.
lady behind Helen
Yeah,
asked you because she also wants to become your PA, and now she reminded you that you have this meeting tomorrow.
yes, very good. We're getting closer. Yeah. So, but after this meeting, I'll ask have news. And there will be different editions, an open edition that is 3D printed, and an open
Mm-hmm.
edition that's actually made of resin, I think that's what it's
All
called.
right. Yeah.
And they're different sizes because they're super cute ones.
You showed me a much bigger one, right?
Wait, look at this, how cute.
That's the one you mentioned. That's really beautiful.
I
Yeah.
really, really love it.
I
And
really love it in a glass bulb.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? The STRAAT Museum will be the first museum where it will be available. So we're gonna have a bunny party.
Yeah.
The both of us will be wearing the bunny masks.
Well, for sure.
It's actually inspired by the Koons, the Jeffrey Ko Jeff
Jeff
Koons,
Koons. Yeah, Jeff Koons.
weird blow up toy bunny. And then
Mm-hmm.
when I did the drawing, so it's a mix between the perfect plastic and then the actual emotion of the need of hugging yourself. So it's
Right.
the duality of that.
Yeah. I'm also, there's so many. All staff is going to wear bunny
Yes, let's do it.
masks. Yeah. Yeah,
Great.
definitely.
All
We'll be
right.
here. Yeah, what else? There's so much. We discussed the bunnies. Is there anything you want to share with us at this moment? I can
Oh
also
yeah.
like,
Hey,
okay.
no,
Yeah.
no. Actually, maybe one. Yes. Hi, Anton. I'll have a show at
In
Corey
LA.
Helfrich Gallery. Yeah, totally forgot my solo show.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Um, it's in it opens April 22nd.
Right?
And I'll be in LA, obviously, well, not obviously, but because my last show, I didn't fly because of COVID. But this year, I'll be going out, and oh yeah, Squid Liquor, basically. Lauren is
Mm-hmm.
another absolutely amazing artist that you need in the museum.
We'll write a list after.
Absolutely.
We'll write a list after the STRAAT talks.
Yes, please. And
Yeah,
do you have Kara toes in the museum? You need Kara toes as well.
she
Kara.
is there. She can make our costumes, right?
Yeah,
She
definitely.
makes amazing costumes.
Uh, 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 I have so many more. Karen Co, Nespoon. I mean, okay, Nespoon is already in the museum, but I love
She was
Nespoon.
there when you were there. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
There are so many more. I think I want to do a global festival for females
Are you
first.
are you going to tell us now? Because you told me, but you should first like get a PA, I guess, and
Yeah,
then start playing on it.
I know. Yeah, I have someone I really
Yeah.
love and trust with this, but it's so hard. It's kind of hard for anyone to get a hold of me because I already told you I really dive into any project that I do, and then I'm lost in swimming, and I'm under, I'm just under the surface. So a PA would have to physically get me into cars and get me
Right, right,
into
right.
airplanes and then take me to places. And I don't know how to do it. I'm still working on it, but I'm just, in my 40s. I have lots of time to learn how to be an adult. So
You're working on it every day,
oh man,
and
yeah.
you're
Faith 47, human med.
yeah.
See, of
We're
course, of course.
we're
But
in
these
touch
are
with them,
these are the
Sebastian.
usual
Yes,
suspects.
they are. Faith
Karen
47 is
Cole,
coming next year.
yeah, Karen Cole is really great. Polina Solvejcic, Polina. I
Mm-hmm.
have to learn how to say her last name. Idran is really great too. Idran from Paris, from France.
Okay.
Um, you or or learn how to never be an adult, Lexi. Yeah, I think that's probably more like it.
Yeah.
Salavechnik. Paulina Salavechnik. Another amazing. I'm so glad I found her. Okay, I think we need to go though because you are probably freezing things off.
It's completely fine. I'm not complaining. But my battery is also running low now.
Yeah.
And I think, to be honest, we can just keep on talking for another hour or 2 hours, which I would definitely love. And there are still so many questions. Maybe we should, at some point or whenever you're going to release the
Okay,
bunnies
wait.
here.
Frau Isa, Julia Benz, some more that come to mind.
Paris and Gold, they're actually replying right now.
Oh yeah. Various Gold. Various Gold. You guys, I already said you need to be in. You need to be in the
We'll
museum.
be in touch.
Yes.
We'll be in touch.
Okay. Street Art Nomad. Bye bye. I will see you.
Drive safe, Lexi.
I'll
driving.
see you in Belgium soon. I'll be in Belgium, Ostende. I totally forgot. Yeah, I'll be in Belgium, Ostende in 4 weeks after the mural. I will be doing a lot of murals this year, so I think I'll be in Italy too. Anyway, you know what? I should let you go. Thank you everybody for listening to me.
No, thank you all. Like Lexi, it will be on Instagram. Once it's the talk is over, I will save it and you can watch it completely back. Hera, thanks so much for being you, for being present today with us with the STRAAT talks. We didn't even talk about the painting in the back. You can see it at the STRAAT Museum here in Amsterdam. Thanks everyone for joining us. It has been amazing. It's amazing to be back with the STRAAT talks. Hera and I will do another one once she's here to release the bunnies. While we were all wearing like the costumes with the bunny ears. Thank you, Mesa. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for the questions. I'm sorry if we didn't answer all the questions.
Yeah, sorry.
But I will definitely write them down once we finish, and we'll do it next time.
All right. Thank you so much, and
thank you all.
See you soon.
We'll see each other soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.